I'm going to talk about a few others that are a lot tougher to create in PowerPoint, but once created, they are very effective. This one is called a sunburst. Some of you may have seen this on our website earlier. A sunburst allows us to drill down and get specific kinds of information. So if in a board presentation, we want the audience to understand how sales is broken down by geography. So the size of the bar represents the amount of sales, and then further by channel, and then by product. Each of these bars tell us how a segment is performing, green indicating that that segment is performing well, and red indicating that the segment is not performing well. So if I want to understand why product 9 in the stores channel in the UK is not performing well, is that because product 9 is not doing well in general? I can click on it and get a drill down that shows how product 9 is performing, and it's clear that it's not performing well anywhere except in the partners channel in Japan where it's doing okay. So is that because the partners channel is doing well? Let's click there, see how that works. And it turns out the partners channel has a very mixed performance. This allows people to answer questions on the fly. The person who's presenting and the audience can chart their own path, effectively bridging the gap between linear presentations and pure exploratory, which can meander all the way. Another type of presentation, specifically answering the question, where do we have a problem, is the drill down tree map. So in this case, let me take the example of downloads from an app store. I'm going to go to uh, this page where on a particular day, let's say the 30th of April in 2013, each of these boxes represents the total volume of downloads of apps from the App Store of various categories. The color represents which segment is growing. Overall, they are reddish or orangish, indicating that none of these are really growing much, but education is growing a bit. Why is that? Click on that to drill down, and we see that most of the areas are doing okay. Listener is probably doing slightly better, but cameraman is doing the worst. Why is newbie neutral? Or if I click into games, why are the listener segments not downloading games? Mainly because, and we can look at the devices that have been downloading the game. So Android 4 growth has not picked up, iOS 4 growth has not picked up, Java ME and Android 2 are also not doing a good job. So this is where the problem is. In the retired segment, it's in most of the areas with the exception of Android 3. So to find out where the problem is, a drill down tree map becomes a very powerful and effective tool. Another way of achieving this, but in a slightly different way, is to answer the question, why do we have poor performance? This can be answered through a Sankey. And let me show you how that works. So let's take the same example of the App Store. I have a large number of downloads coming in from the US as a country, followed by China, Germany, etc. And the colors indicate how fast we've been growing. So Android 4 has not been growing as fast as iOS 4, which is greener, and so on. So why is Android 4 not growing? That's mainly because the games category, which is the largest chunk of downloads, has not been growing, nor has the education or the tools category. Though music and video has been growing, it hasn't been enough to pull it up. So why haven't games been growing? That allows us to drill down further and say that it's mainly because the newbie category wasn't growing for games, nor was the double income no kids category. But the effect of the listener category has been enough to make it neutral. So why is iOS growing? Because every single segment is growing. Why is education growing? Because barring double income no kids, listeners, and browsers, the other segments are growing. It allows us to answer the question why something is happening by drilling down into the next level.